Hello folks, welcome back. This is Tino's, and today we are continuing with the rig of this character Tuka from some magic fantasy project. So basically I've just concluded today another one of those automation. My mouse is very broken now, but okay, so I've solved finally the automation of the eyelashes, and now it is very well. It's not perfect, but it's working essentially, so you can bake this. This is just because probably I need to shrink wrap this a little more. So this is how this setup works. So I have a tutorial for this. It's an old one, like I think I made it in 2000, in between 2022 and 2024. It was my 1 year and a half of rigging in Blender, and so that from there already, this is when I was able to make this setup. Otherwise I have it, well, not for the eyelashes, but I have for the eyelids this setup with bendy bones and some convertible solutions with for the eyelids rig, which is often very challenging, right? So yeah, facial rig is really tough, especially mouth rigging, but we can have a lot of difficulties already with the eyebrows, everything, nearly the eyes, the eyebrows, everything can be super complicated. I had problem with eyebrows. I had problem with orbicularis oculi. I have problem with eyelids. I had problem with eyelashes. I had problem with the integration of all those features. Yeah, because they are never alone. Usually in the dark, they always are a set of problems that are interrelated. This is why for the many cases, whichever the solution we find for the facial rig of a character, like the eyes, well, it needs to be combinable with other features. Otherwise we just will have a primitive rig that will not be very, it will be limited, right? It won't be combining very well in relation to the what we need for expressions. Yeah, an eyelashes rig can also be complicated. So here, let's see what we got here in terms of this system. Is not very nice, right? Show bones. Okay, so this is, here we can see this is a main bone. We can see some automations here. I'm just gonna present some stuff here before I restart here. So I'm gonna go for the mouth lower face rig now, because there are some things, fundamental things there to be solved. So one of them is the automation of the arcades, like this Pixar cartoony thing. I have a method that seems to have worked. Yeah, it has worked before, and so it will be need to know if I'll be able to reproduce it here. Probably yes, but there's some slight difference between one character to another. So okay, so here we have some crazy setups. I found out finally a way to get some inverse kinematics working on the uncertain features. So for example, the brow and eyebrow, so you can see here, and you can always tweak this deserves, of course, a tutorial, but I don't have time to do it right now. So this is kind of was pretty complicated. I tried to do something like this many times before and always failed, because the case of the eyebrow, if the eyebrow is a separated mesh, then if it's a different mesh actually, then the face, it can be very It's not something glued to the face. The glue to the skin of the face is the hardest part, and we have to separate the stuff, and this separation, it creates some difficulties in automations, because then we need to automate one in relation to the other, and then there is some parenting that is unidirectional, and then you can easily get dependency cycles then, and that becomes very complicated. And this is why so for example, I cannot do this by bringing this thing on altogether, but so it offsets, but okay, that's okay because it's an I-key chain. And I can do this because I have auto I-key option. Yeah, so I have even more possibilities, but in between here there's an I-key bond constraint, so this is allows for, we don't need this, but that's kind of cool, right? And then there's another one set of this for the, oh, something is broken here. Okay, so yeah, something broke here. We need to get the I-key chain here. Let's see, where is this? So this, I was able to do it because of my experience with simultaneous I-key F-key rig. This you don't find in Rigify extension. You need to do it. I have a content in my Gumroad page where there is simultaneous F-key I-key rig for the skeleton. It is not complete to this day. Consider the new findings I've made in that direction, but it already gives some, yeah, it gives the main idea, and that main idea is what allowed me in partially in a great deal to do this automation here, because of the offsetting. And so I didn't invent the offsetting from the between the I-key chain and something that would be some sort of F-key chain. Actually, this is a misleading concept. It's not, what I'm doing is not offsetting an F-key chain from an I-key chain. What I'm doing is offsetting a layer of control bones from a layer of I-key chain bones. That, yes, is an I-key, it's a chain, but not this one. This will not be considered a chain, so we're offsetting, and so this is what makes this possible. Of course there would be other ways, and this is conceptual, so it's debatable. So you see here we need, I don't know why it's always is breaking, so let's get this is about the eye holes. So for some reason this inverse kinematic targets, I always lose it. Maybe it's because I was, there we go, now it is, no, oh, I see, some bones are not reacting to this, so probably I've made some change in the parenting. Let's see what is, you see also these offsets from the I-key chain. So the real problem is that some bones here are not following. Oh, I deleted this. Ah, this is dirty. No, there's more things which are wrong. Okay, not the eyelids. I see. So apparently I've broke the automators from, yeah, accidentally deleted. But it's pretty simple. Actually it's, but I'd like to have the reference here. Copy transfer. Okay, so basically this will be a copy transforms. Then we have a local space with own orientation before original, and then with some variation, and so this will do this. Okay, then when I do this, okay, we have all the motion. Of course, this is not enough. We need to have so it's a one-on-one basis. The only thing I'm gonna do now is just to do the targets first. This should have a double yeah, so let's bring this to the top, then this here, the shrink wrap in the bottom, and after I'm gonna this one has two tweak bones. This is why I'm doing this. So of course we don't animate with all these bones showing. We can organize these layers better. So here we get this one, copy transforms, and here this will be impacted by two bones. So it will get this one first, then it will get from this one, and this one will get from this one. There we go. Then we bring it here. Yeah, so these mistakes, they often take a lot of time, so need a lot of patience to be able to do complex rigging, because it's a lot of back and forth sometimes. The more we train but you need to be very, a big list of things that you should avoid at all costs, almost. Like one day, like today or yesterday, I've merged some vertices on the whole mesh, and that destroyed the topology of the mouth, of the lips, because they were too close. So in that merging thing, I should have merged, should have saved me a lot of time. I should have merged locally, just selection of vertices. Yeah, so here we're gonna alt this, batch this stuff here, and there we go. So the problem here, of course, is that, okay, now we can see this. Okay, this now is taking place. We need to symmetrize also, and looks like that there are some intersections that are not cool. So why they are happening, I'm not totally sure why, but I can always push this forward, and then that should be. There are some automations here that I probably should do better about the eyelash, but this is just a detail. The animator can, ideally I would fix that, but I have I don't have all the time for this character, so we'll do it some tweaks maybe later. But it works, right? We can pose without intersections. Here you see it's working mostly well. Okay, so here we need to looks like we got some wrong bone here. Okay, because some had, like this one and this one, they have two bone constraints, not one, so we just batched one of them and the other is still okay. So I gotta do manually. There we go. So this, we want this to move a lot, but maybe not that much. So the central one is very important. Okay, this is a good amount. Then this one is too much, right? You don't want. Okay, actually this one will move a little, yeah, so we can have this thing, and this one from this, it will also move a little amount. I don't know if more or less, probably less. Yeah, so let's do the inverse. This will I also destroyed the okay, so a lot of errors during, it's a lot of stuff, right? So must learn to be more careful. I need to learn to be more careful in my process. So yeah, augment here, because destroying it can be very costly, right? Destroying the it takes time to learn, right? This whole stuff, right? Okay, this is the wrong target, of course. There are two of them. Space, right? There's too much things. Alright, I think this is a good amount. This one we can, then finally this one we get this, alright. Let's check the automation here. Yeah, this seems good. Maybe this one a little more. Actually, this one. Alright, then for this one we want, in comparison to this one, we would like to have maybe this amount. Yeah, so you have a rounded automation, right? So that's good, that's very good. Now for the bottom, looks like here, yeah, so this one is very close to this one. The first one is related to this one, this the other. I don't like how Blender gets these numbers, like it starts without anything. Sometimes that is good, but for the most time this is just confusing, because I have 4 bones here, and this time in this rig I've decided to make this the lazy way, which is like give the first the normal name, and but it also has consequences. It's bad for counting. Alright, so here we got to what is, yeah, so here it will be some sort of, I think more on the the first one will be the major one. Okay, and this has some lesser influence. As for these ones, yeah, this won't affect the other, but this one is too much affected, right? So just gonna get maybe a little more, yeah, way more. Okay, that can work. We can also give them some custom space, but I think for the, they seem stable enough. Yeah, I don't need this, but that could be interesting. I need to recheck later on. No, but this is not for the live stream. So this we're already done. So just remaining is this one here, which is getting copy transforms. It's a total copy, right? No, we don't want that. We want some delay, so maybe that seems good enough, because this bone is like, so there we go, the main top, the main bot, and then we got this. Alright, let's see if we can get any, yeah, real expressions. This is not good for closing the eyes, nor this, because I've started with a pose which this card doesn't even have a subdivision surface modifier. I'm trying to not use it, but it's very complicated. Yeah, like for eyelids is not super good. For the smash also, I was forced to make a lot more subdivisions in some places, strategic place, more mesh geometry in order to get the expressions that would look more natural for this character. Alright, so let's go further, and I'll show now on this transition of features now of the face. How is my... oh, also we'll have to make a... yeah, I'm going to symmetrize everything here because this is sort of dangerous. Can I hide this? Yeah, so these measurements is necessary for the mapping of the automation of the eyelashes. In this rig I'm sort of keeping them, but they are annoying because they appear even in the render, not the render but the render viewport. There, so it's not, it's annoying, right? So there should, maybe this is, would that be extra info? No, what is that? It's some overlay, right? It's exactly in front. It's none of those options. Extras, no. Outline selected, no. Of course it's not motion paths and not boundaries, but annotation. Yeah, it's annotations. Oh, so it's annotation, okay. So okay, I think we can live with this for now. Alright folks, so let's check the list here. I'm gonna show you how this is progressing. It's progressing actually very advantageous. After some massive challenge here, I was able to reach here some new calculations of the time I should spend. So technically I think I can solve it in 5 days considering the time I'm allocating for each, for day by day, but probably not shorter than that. So this is all that I've done already. So it's quite a lot. These are some notes for me to remember in the future. And then this is what it is to do. So face automation, I've done everything except for the arcades automation, which is a very tricky thing. So I'm gonna do this now. Then I have to fix the lips because I've messed up. Remake the anatomic lip shape key because so this was a disaster. Hopefully this didn't destroy everything, but yeah, this is super waste of time. Lips quality rig, so I'll need to make sure that I want to make sure that the that the things that I'm doing for the lips, that the mouth has enough expression, and for that I'll have to investigate if I will need for this low poly character or not to make this a subdivision here. In the Universal Sonic Mouth Rig it's not like that, but at the same time I believe they have a subdivision surface modifier which smooths out that. So in my case I don't have, so maybe this is why I might have to need the different topology. It will be nice also to see if I could make a special topology for the mouth, something that I've never tried, in order to address a little problem regarding the facility of the anatomic clip. But this will be very, not for this project, because that will certainly ruin the regularity of the geometry. So this is would be the consequence of doing a different topology can be very bad for the kind of rig I'm trying to do, the inverse sonic mouth rig. So it's probably a bad idea. So but not the subdivision of and maybe one at the top and start spreading the so maybe, I'm not sure, just one edge loop up vertical and maybe one lateral. So we're gonna check this. So this is super important. So all related to the mouth rig, and that too, the anatomic lips. Some part of it is not something that I destroyed, is that I found out that I needed maybe some slight improvements for the expressions, Cartoony Express. Smooth waves, that would conclude the face rig. Wow, so that was a lot of things that I had to do this. For the past 1 week or so I was diving deep into this. So it's finally getting, it's actually, I forgot, there is not yet, we need to make the facial shape keys. I have a method here, so just some basic shape keys, and then the more conventional ones, and then shape keys for I'll use armature, copying shapes from the armature deform modifier. There's cheesy way to generate shape keys, so that's why I need the good control rig. This is why I'm actually doing this, because with this I will bring generate pose shapes. That's what, certainly, yes, much easier for the extra. And incredibly, there is no tutorial on that, basically, that shows this kind of workflow. So it's kind of bizarre, right? But anyways, then smooth body, then there's the body, some basically wave paint, some improvements on the generic, because I have some joints that are getting the best waves from that topology, from the skeleton perspective, so base waves, and then start to use the helper bones with the wave painting of them, then maybe some missing twist bones here, and then the helper bones, then we're gonna make the deltas and the complex joints rig and fix the simple joints rigs with the helper bones. So this is advanced rigging, but so this will not be as difficult, also because this is low poly. I think this will be kind of interesting, not as complicated for me as what I've been through the facial rig. And then Yeah, physics, wiggle and spring bones. Spring bones is the VRM, it's avatar stuff. So they call spring bones, but they are not the same as wiggle bones, which I use wiggle 2 add-on. And this is, I use VRM add-on extension. Actually, it's free. Both are free, but this one is for VRM format extension. Just download it from the repository Blender 4. And then, yeah, there are some things that essentially it's more about the hair, but maybe I'd like to have on some other features. But the problem here is that I think we cannot check the spring bones in here. So it's like we can check the wiggle. I think they are. Maybe I can test with wiggle. There's a YouTuber who presented that we can probably make tests from one to the other, like wiggle in Blender. We can set the spring bones in Blender with the VRM format, but we cannot check the results directly in Blender. So this is annoying. Maybe in the future we'll be able to. Then we have some improvements on the cloth and the UV texturing, unwrapping, texturing, texture baking. Yeah, some materials. This will be not. There's not too a lot of stuff here. It will be simple, but time consuming a little. Less than 1 day, I think. And compositing conclusion. Yeah, and then actions. I have to check something about test the issue with solution for extra mini spine key bone. Yeah, so this is a tricky thing that I found solution for a rigid problem of Blender. So a workaround that's a bit dirty, and unfortunately this mess up. Make some more integration. I need to find out if the... Okay, so let's go back to finally... Sorry about that, folks. Just explaining how the work is done. So this is the skeleton, the control... Oh, there's some problems there in the face. Some horrid problems, actually. Yeah, I was having that, so it's gonna... It's probably some stupid thing that... Oh yeah, I remember, of course. It is probably because it's something about the head bone. Yes, because I have... Yeah, probably is... Hold on. We need there's a ghost face which is... Okay, it doesn't have an armature modifier. However, without an armature modifier, we'll have... So just the head. Batch, delete that. We need to have a armature modifier. I think it's already parented. Yeah, it should not have problem with parenting. The problem is there you go. Okay, so what has happened is it was not deforming, but it was a collision. It's a static muzzle ghost, so it is used as a extra collision for shrink wrapping bones. So all the shrink wrap modifiers were converted now to shrink wrap bone constraints. So like these are the backup shrink wrap. So you have one for the muzzle, even the universal sonic melt rig that was converted. The one for the eyelids, no need, we converted in a system with bendy bones. This I have in a just the file that I'm talking about, the in my gun road. It's the eyelids setup, right? We can, then there is a shrink wrap eyelids board. Yeah, this is also just a little detail here for my rig, but actually otherwise I have to use a solidify modifier, which could cause a lot of problems, I think so. But doing procedural will be better. Basically, I didn't have to extrude some vertices here behind. So if we have a non-manifold mesh, is not the case now, because these eyelashes are separated mesh. It's super complicated, in my opinion, to separate a mesh like that and maintain it glued to the surface. The mesh data must be exactly the same, and that is very, very tricky, because even if you transfer waves, some things might go broken. It's a nightmare, basically. I just had to do this because in this rig I wasn't able to use I was forbidden to use the shrink wrap modifier, because this is a game to be more versatile. But in my opinion, for 3D animation in Blender, right, we want this. Shrink wrap bone constraint is more for control rig, right, but we can use them for deform rig. But it's like, it's just super annoying. Then turned out that I had to separate the eyelash and deal with that glue thing, that find other way to, in the end it happened, but not without a lot of headache today and even yesterday and other times that I had. Yeah, there was some time, for a long time I thought it was impossible. So this is why I've decided that for my method would be just keep it connected, right? Not as a mesh island in the same mesh object, no, connected mesh. But then we must know that this will generate a non-manifold mesh depending on how we do. And yeah, because then how do I create this wall, right? So there might be propositions, but we cannot solidify. Oh wait, I'm thinking. No, because the solidification will do something different, right? Wait, I'm just thinking about something here. Let's save a backup here. Yeah, this is the backup. Okay, now I'm curious. I don't think it will work, but let's say I join here. Okay, join. Now, not doing the mistake that I've done before, so I'm gonna pick this mesh of the eyelashes. Alright, there's a triangle here as well. I'm gonna pick you see these meshes are exactly on the same, so just merge these ones. There's an error, but it is merged now, so if I select this face, you'll see that the eyelids is fallen. This is the non-manifold mesh. This is the eyelids borders, I call it. It's a wall that goes behind the wall. So this edge ring here is the one that, just for security, I create a eyelids border, which is an inside shrink wrapping. So like it stays always behind the eyeballs or the eye surface, whatever. in this case it's an eyeball, so it can complicate it because it's inside the eyeball, so at some point it may go crazy. So anyways, just a little is enough, but we don't need that because anyways this file is broken. I'm just gonna try, so I'm gonna delete this. What if I create a solidify modifier? You see, then we have this hole here, which is this gap. We cannot create the solidify with the non-manifold, as I mentioned. This becomes a nightmare, an impossible problem. Maybe you can try, but I've tried everything and it didn't really work. So now I know a little better how to use the solidify modifier. So I want actually to try and create the solidify modifier on. Okay, this is not selectable. Let's hide it. Okay. So I'm going to set some faces here to, not faces, just let's try with this. So this will be the target vertex group of a group, which will be, yeah, solidify. Okay, then we assign maximum. I just want to see what will happen here. Oh, actually the problem is that these verts, they are not going to solidify very well. Then I'll have to assign these others, but let's see what that does first. Then I get the solidify, and then we need the target sol. And what is this madness? 0. Not very thrilling, right? Of course we don't want to solidify everything, it's just that vertex group and not inverted. Fill, yeah, so this is all the madness. Yeah, this create already lot of crazy stuff, right? Not if we get fill. Actually we need only rim, but looks like that will solidify the whole mesh anyways. I don't know what's happened to the eyebrow, but anyways, I think this is inside. Yeah, the question here is that I'm solidifying just a vert. So this is not a great idea. Let's try to add this as well. Don't seem to be very good. What if I add yeah, I see what's going on. Let's try to add these ones then. That will create a horrid. I would need to have more geometry there, but then it's still, this is not non-manifold, but if I extrude anything from, okay, so the back faces didn't really work, right? Oh yeah, they become actually, yeah, exactly, because they are back faces. So it's that's why this doesn't work. Flip high quality normals, no, to no avail. Oh yes, actually I could try to, since everything solidifies behind, maybe that's it. I need to solidify all of this stuff. Let's see. And what is happening? We need to check the with the eye. Yeah, so we see that we still have the gap there. They don't feel very, yeah, so it's a disgrace, right? It's not functional, and there are more options, but you see the level of chaos is really big. Maybe geometry nodes could do an extrusion procedure, but then it would just work on inside Blender, right? We'll have to apply, and then it become manifold. Well, another solution would be to have the, I haven't thought about that. Yeah, another solution is that we could have, instead of separating the eyelash, or besides separating the eyelash, well, it's one or other, then we get that one separated, the inner vertices there, right? That edge ring. So they have, like these faces actually, that's much easier to handle. It's just right, basically you pick this, re-extrude inside, inwards, and there you go. Then you pick those face, separate this face, and refresh the, and it's a separated mesh, so it will follow up much better than anything about this mesh of the eyelashes. And that will be, never thought about that, sounds a good idea. But the problem of separating the eyelashes is not even because of the non-manifold problem, the wall there that I want, is because of some problem of the eyebrows rig interacting, snapping onto the eyelash, because the eyelash being part of the face, and the eyebrow rig setup has some shrink wrap feature towards the, even a shrink wrap bond constraint targeting the face itself. Then if the eyelash is part of the face, then we cannot, the face mesh object, right? Then it can't be helped. The bone will shrink wrap to whichever mesh of the body mesh object it encounters. We cannot reduce the signify to it, any indicate to it, oh, snap to the object. No, it's the whole object, it doesn't care. Alright, so we're gonna get now to the melt, the arcades, yeah, melt, but actually arcades automation. So we're gonna need here some specific bones, tweak lips, control lower mouth. Yeah, no, don't need tweak lips here. So I don't need to fix the lips, improve the lips to check these automations. So basically we see that first of all it is likely that I'd like to improve the orientation of these arcades. There are many problems regarding that, so I've just created them and left them in some way, right? So we need to reset. Alright, let's go back here. Alright, so you see that the orientation of the is not very nice. It has a too dipping inclination, right? Yeah, so this inclination is, of course, it's too much. So there's 3 objects here. The problem is that these objects, they are, yeah, this object is gonna be simple. Basically, I can just I'll need to apply some hierarchies here. Yeah, so there's mechanism bones here. I hope I'm correct about this. Yeah, so it's just these bones for the arcades. No, it's not that simple. So I have the arcades themselves, they will be disrupted. I don't want to change their orientations. So let's check this one. What is this? Yeah, it needs to have, yeah, the orientation on the y-axis, on the global Z, I think is correct. So this bone seems to be aligned, but just if I'm not sure, let's go here to the arcades, add a bone here, rotate X, Alt R, so I just want to align these bones to here, yeah, just in case, and then let's rotate just in case we align this here. Yeah, why they were in the opposite direction, I don't know, but that shouldn't be a problem. That should also work. Alright, so this inclination is too much. So the problem here is that, oh, it will be simple. So this worth a highlight, maybe. Mechanism arcade tweak, yes. Jaws, here we got this, so they are parent to the head, right? So we're gonna make a tricky thing here, and where are the others? Okay, I need this, which are parent to the master lips. Okay, so these have another, I think nothing is parent to these ones, so this is okay. Too many bones here. Oh yeah, then we got wrong selections. There we go. So this is what we need for the arcade's automation. No, not for, sorry, not for the arcade's automation, for the fixing of this orientation. So this is a very specific case. Let's, before I've lost this selection here, let's create a selection set extension. Now I think it's inbuilt, it's not, don't even need to install So it's the arcades. Yeah, arcades. There we go. Assign. Alright, and let's make the highlight here. Okay folks, so here a problem that probably is very unlikely to be found anywhere, but it is actually super important if we are using this kind of operation. Apply pose as rest pose or apply selected as rest pose, the most popular ones, right? This you select just the bones you want, but it's more complicated than it sounds like, because the actual true about this is that it will affect the cell. This will affect all the bones in the skeleton, and this will affect the selected bones in the skeleton plus their child from parenting, but not anything affected by transforms, by bone constraints or drivers. I'm not sure, but probably not drivers. So it's just the parenting relation. So this is a problem, because you see these arcades that I have here, they are dipping too much. This was just a testing, but I knew it would go wrong. So anyways, just trying to see what would happen, but it doesn't, it's not very good, because as soon as I start to some pose, then you see already from the front view that the arcades are very dipping down this one. So it's not very good, even for this character design. Some other character design might be, that might work, but not in this case. So instead of, the problem is that I have some bones here, it has some alignments. I don't want to just rotate, I want to do this in an automated way. Okay, so then you'll see what will happen. These bones are deformed bones for the arcades. They are meant for automation, so this is why I have this set up. This will move the whole arcades, and these are the parent of this stuff. So these will carry everything, right? And these are tweaker bones for other functionalities. Anyways, alien stuff. So the thing here is that if I apply like I want to maybe change the orientation from a new pose, right? That will affect the mesh, but this will deform the mesh, right? So, which might be acceptable, but actually it's not very smart. Yeah, so never mind, my highlight is broken. At least I explained the basic, the fundamental of the, I'll have a, the problem is that I wouldn't have a good example here. It's not what I really want, so I'll have to rotate these things manually. And so I'm gonna do this by checking their axis and using this pivot point. So really, so it is not really a question. Actually, that would be a better way, right? We could rotate this and then we handle the origins. Yeah, we there's still this, so Okay, so I see where the mouth is. So basically I just need to imagine a line here. It's not very easy, right? Maybe we need to hide this. Okay, the mouth is there. At this point we should better use the yeah, that's okay, because I'm going to you see this is a little better, right? You see how the mouth deforms is not very nice, right? It's not smooth. I can make it smoother with better waves, but with just lacking geometry at the same time. So okay, so we already see that in general this is we need to reduce even more, perhaps this angle. If I had a base angle for that, it will be better. Maybe I should make a keyframe, right? Like that will make life easier if I ever have patience for this. So we're gonna add a keyframe for this. Yeah, so first let's get insert keyframe for this, then we get here and it's not exactly the bone that I wanted, but that can cause some problems. Okay, insert keyframe, then Alt R, insert keyframe, then this one we delete keyframe. Well, there we go. Okay, I needed to check the layer, but something is broken. This one, reset. Why I can't reset it? I think it's already reset. Oh no, I was pressing the wrong button. Okay, so insert, there we go. Oh, actually this is bad, because these bones, they move the mouth and the arcades, so this is not good. I did all that is wrong. Let's start again. I wasn't wrong in picking this one, so let's do this. We can use this even with all the shortcuts. So now we're gonna insert both keyframes, move this forward about here, reduce this insert keyframe. Actually we'll move this about here and this about here. I don't really care I just want some reference. Yeah, then we go. So I just need to check. Now I need the other bones to be checking here. Let's go to the pick this again, but now we go to the selection sets. Let's assign this to select, Shift H, there we go. Why don't I have this X-ray? There we go. Okay, so this will control okay, from this angle we see that the bottom arcade is not too bad, right? This time from this angle, if I do the right pivoting, right, from the angle this seems to be quite good, and from this one yeah, so this seems to be good. It could probably be improved, but I'm satisfied. This is certainly better than okay, something horrible happened to these bones, to this armature. This is a mistake. I've changed, yeah, here we go. I've changed the wrong object. Changed the wharf, not for the mesh object, but the armature object. And alright, so here, now this means that this is the kind of angle that I want for this. It looks like a 30 degrees or even less. Can I have a reference here for knowing this angle? A bone, right? Yeah, then you have a lot of bones. Yeah, I can use this one, so let's try Shift D, rotate -X. Then Shift D, let's get, what is this? Control Alt space. Terrible mistake. Yeah, I don't need these ones, I just need this one. And so rotate 15. It's way, no, actually this is more than, alright. Okay, realign, rotate active, rotate 30. So we could try 30, but let's exactly see what it is currently. It's about 45. Rotate 40, rotate 40, 41, 42, 43. Yeah, basically it's 43. Yeah, this angle here doesn't matter much. I'm gonna just mark here Control F2 objects for once in a while. I'm gonna rename object, not bone. So this is like set name suffix 43 degrees back. Actually, alright, that's negative 44, no, negative, rotate X negative 43, that's it. Okay, so that is the orientation. So 30 might be too much, so I'm gonna make it 40. But it would be nice to test, right? Yeah, let's test the 30, because if it works well, need to have some good memory here. Of what? Because I'm not taking the screenshots. Yeah, see, if it is like this, I have to make major change to the mesh. It will have to dip here. That's fine. That might be a bit strange. So it's like can be more protruded here and retracted below. So it's just a mesh thing. But if we have this set up, then that would mean that at 30 degrees we'll be able to have yeah, a lot of intersections here. It's not bad, it's not bad. Like when you start to see something that makes sense. But let's check also here. The pivot point there inside is very bad, so for this new, but we can have some approximation. Yeah, certainly this is not the best way, right? But it's completely tilted, but it seems to work very well. But I think something in between, right? Maybe a range between, it was 43 and this is 30, so it's very, very different. But like 35 to 40, that will be, I think, a good idea. So I'm going to attempt a 40, yeah, just 40 or 35. Any other value? 33? No, 30. Oh, I see. Okay, 35. Validate, rotate plus 5. That will be 40. Yeah, so I think I had 43, right? So let's say 40. Let's get a 35. I think that will be, I thought 36 and a half, but that will be too complex. 35 seems to be, or 37, I don't know any value that will be good for remembering, so 35 seems good. So let's get that thing finally. So I'll line here, gonna get here, and we're gonna finally pick this. This is like scientific of the character design, so this is why I'm something that I don't truly know for my own character. This is why I strange, right? It's not the kind of thing that we care too much in knowing exactly the angle in the drawing, right? Also, I don't draw the arcades like that, and so is this the orientation of the bone? Yes, that is it. So right now we get these objects. We're gonna apply them all transforms, but I'm gonna cheat now. I'm gonna have a origins we can use this, or rotate X from, yeah, world origin, rotate X, so positive 35, right? So let's see if the exactly 35 degrees, so this is exactly the angle that these objects need. So I'm not going to apply the rotation for these three objects. Now gonna reset here. We're gonna reshape. Well, the angle might not be perfect, like, but who cares, right? Well, I can fix that easily now because I have the, yeah, so it's like, in case you don't know, with the proper origins, you just need to, let's isolate this. Local, it will use the origin of the, hold on, it will use the, turn that off, it will use the SX0, or actually except for this. Now this aligns to local, so it's the perfect alignment. Numpad backslash, let's get here also, I want, yeah, numpad backslash, select this, deselect the canines, and same thing, SZ0. I said SX0, no, my mistake, sorry, SZ0, because its world local origin is tilted like that, you see. So it's alright. So we got that fixed, but this is not fixed. Numpad \. We need now to get from edit mode, we need to align the, no, not align, I need to, now another thing that is funny, we can get GY and do this, yeah. So we're gonna do something like that, right? We can make this it is being displaced because of some the bones, I think. I'm not sure why, so I'm just gonna ignore that. GZ okay, I'll accept that. Now for this one, even more, right? So let's also push this like this. I said that something strange happened about this. So SZ0 again. Yeah, we make these things bigger for now. Here we can probably bring this back. Same for this. Not that this matters too much, right? But just getting this a little more organized. Alright, that seems good. What about the tongue? The tongue seems to not be starting from a great condition here. The problem is that this will affect the yeah, that seems fine. This it will offset from the deform rig, but that's okay. It's a simple thing to solve. So let's see. First, gonna delete this helper bones, mapping or whatever, temporary bones. Gonna check here what we've got from the front. This looks pretty nice, right? So 35 degrees, yeah. That's very accurate now. I don't like the widgets here, right? the way the things is organized, there are a lot of things to improve. Anyways, finally I fixed that for this character's end, but we need to do the automation now. And more, yeah, so why I'm looking at these arcades, of course I know why. It's because we have here the need to get to the selection set, which is Shift T arcades, yeah, Shift H, there we go. Alright, so because I've changed the position of all the bones now of the arcades separately from the bones, now I have a lot of issues regarding these positionings, so I have to try to remember what is the correct thing here. Yeah, so I think this is like, oh, there's a better way to do this, or maybe not. No, there isn't. The bone will shrink wrap from, yeah, actually let's also Alt edit mode, Alt F, let's change all this. Yeah, so just fixing this will be better. So the idea here is getting these bones to some strategic collision places. So for that we'll need to let's hide some stuff here that's not gonna do any good. So with these bones, what can we do? We could think that this tip is a good thing to serve as a collision point, but actually it's more, because the intersections can easily happening from this point or sometimes this point. It's like, but if the bone is somewhere like here, at least we could say that, oh, I didn't thought about that. If the bone, because it's a sphere, if the bone is inside, then there will be a sphere that will, if it's the bone is here, the sphere will protect here, but it will prevent some, yeah. So the ideal thing will be to have the bone be here. The idea of disorientation of the bone, I think, is more intuitive regarding the head of the bone is where the ball is, so it's like the tip of the tail is not super important, so it stays behind. So it's like this is easier to read if we use this method. So here what I'm going to do is we don't see these collisions, so we're gonna just have to try to map in some way as you see. It's not super easy to Okay, so this one is for the extremity. So I can start by trying to get maybe this point there and bring the bone exactly there, so that can be a good starting condition. And of course I can move it along the y, the local, right? So that it will follow, but it's not exactly near the center, so this will be I'm not moving it on the but it will still suffer. Yeah, so this is super complicated, right? So maybe I can temporarily create this cage here. I hope this doesn't disrupt anything. There's no shape keys in this stuff, so messing with the topology won't. It could have shape keys, but that's okay. In the end, it's just more complication for expressions. So here it can be a good strategy for. This one is the canine, so I think this will be exactly here. So here we already have the collision point, although this is not exactly. Let's try this face here instead. Yeah, it's this one. Although, yeah. So it's like I'm using one bone and there will be a sphere around it which will cause collisions from shrink wrap inside. No, sorry, shrink wrap. Yeah, shrink wrap. Oh yeah, inside, because it will be. Wait, I think I'm thinking it wrongly. I'm confused now. It must be locked. No, it's inside. It is locked inside, but I'm confused with this idea of the sphere now. I don't know. I'll have to. Maybe the inside is different. It's not a sphere, it's a point here. And the sphere, it's the influence of the surrounding of the objects. Wow, as I make a giga confusion. So this will not really work very well unless I'm thinking wrong again. The problem is that Blender don't show this area of influence. You have to imagine it, visualize it mentally, and so this is super not good for understanding how the thing works. Also, let's change this, make this bigger. So this one will be simpler, just this, and there's a small chance that this will still work. Okay, let's go for the other. Okay, great, it's a mirror, so it doesn't want to work. There we go, so we got something here. Finally, so this is super time consuming, but it is good practice. Now we have some displacement. No, bones are fine. The parenting was unmade, but that's simple to recover. Well, not that simple. Shift T, arcades, there we go. Select these ones, they are the bottom ones, they go to this selection, go on edit mode, no, unselect, select, edit mode, shift A. Okay, I see there's a lot of bones here. There we go, finally. Then now you see what's happening. This go to the bottom and this goes to the the reason I need these bones, maybe I don't need them. I was thinking, because the only thing here, these bones are just aligned, they don't have anything special. They just have a different alignment. They are not, yeah, so it's just a, I already have this mechanism. They are already mapping this point, while these don't map anything. They don't even have the shrink wrap. So they could serve as some shrink wrapping feature, but I think they are, this might be, yeah, so we can instead, maybe we can just delete them. So now these ones go to the top, yes, by offset, and these ones go to the bottom by offset. Okay, so that means that now this once they control, so we need this point here, because this is the snapping reference of all these bones to, and the question here, I'm trying to figure out how I can improve this system in this setup here. So basically, first thing is that probably I'll need to fix this orientation here. So this is just an alignment, so the old thing doesn't have little value here. Okay, why I can't rotate this thing? No, now I can. Yeah. So this is what matters. The point there still matters. Of course, I don't need the jaw to the upper arcade to go there. Yeah, so you see how odd this is. So it has a good arc that can be like this. And so you just have to align this. It's not because it is touching here the bone that the arcades will be touching. It's just a reference tail point. And then this one is way more complicated. So we could reuse the same thing here. Let's see. In principle, they are not exactly the same thing, right? So could expect that this would work. Yeah, this seems to be working. And so it cannot be small like that, right? It needs to be longer. So I think this makes... Oh yeah, but it needs to be touching there, right? So actually... Okay, that can also work, but we can... And then we align there. And that can be a bit confusing because they are crossing, but okay, so I can always make some changes in the how to say, the widget custom shapes to address this better, but they need to maintain some reference to the place they are moving from. Alright, so now what we can do from this is that, of course, here, what is this copy transform? Master jaw, tweak. Okay, and this is master jaw and tweak bottom. Yes, so it's just that this stretch 2 needs to be reset. So here we see that we can stretch excessively, and this might not be what we want, but we want some freedom, but we don't want intersections too much. And this is why yeah, we cannot rotate this anymore, otherwise we don't have the stretch and squash feature. I would like a system that could combine this. This is why I had previously control bones here for this jaw, that this will be mechanism bones. They are actually mechanism bones. But the problem is that these control jaws, they would get offset, so they would never be used actually, because this already would provide the proper solution. So it would be some sort of, could use some driver, I don't know. The idea is to have the freedom to do this kind of stuff. See, the bones there are already shrink wrapping, but it doesn't prevent the arcades to stretch too much, so this is not totally accurate right now. Yeah, like we need some limit stretch, right? Limit scale for this, right? I think that I forgot that. Limit scale. Yeah, it is not scaling in any direction, but this will cause problems if we want to automate this. But this is no, it's just for that bone. Okay, yeah, this can be limiting, because then if we want to scale here this bone, well, it is locked on scales. No, it is not locked on scale, so why? Yeah, it's because it has exactly the limit. So actually the scale that I want to limit essentially is the scale on the Y. But we should be careful with that, right? Because you can get a lot of crazy deforms. Sometimes we want to protrude the, not so much retract, but oh, the interesting scale, negative scaling here. I didn't know that. This is not the way to automate this, but this is very difficult to predict. But it's an easy trick, right? Maybe it can help sometimes to get some tweaking. And so here the idea would be to allow this to be like, I don't know, oh yes, the negative scale. Okay, so we can have both. The problem is that I cannot push this thing in a regular rotation without it scaling, so this is the disadvantage here, but not that this really matters. Yeah, it's just a bit annoying, so you need to be careful, or you just reset scale all the time. No, because it's not this bone that is scaling, it's the arcades, right? It is yeah, what is scaling actually? It's by parenting? I don't get it. Oh, it's the stretch too. It's not even a local space thing. It's inheriting scale from the bone constraint. Alright, so that means that yeah, all the bones are scaling, but we don't see how much, and I cannot prevent it from happening. So stretch 2, unless there would be some way to address this, but I doubt so. This is, but we have the possibility to bring this forward. Okay, so this is happening because of course I'm allowing the X and Z scale, which are actually interesting. It's what usually we want for some expressions, but I need to be able to reset these bones. When does it scales? It's some transform. It's hard to tell, right? So it's location, right? So I cannot map anything from it. So I was thinking of trying to reset on demand, but like the only reset is location, so this is kind of complicated. Alright, I don't know, but I was thinking perhaps getting this bone crosses from the start, or even trying to eliminate this. Oh, then the problem is that I would lose the central point. So it's like the bone would be a continuation, and instead of a stretch to it, to have a dumped track. And I could still yeah, so maybe this is a better idea. Okay, I have to save here a let's save here, and this is getting interesting. The idea is to, I have this mapped already, this point from the other bones of the mouth. So what I can try to do is add a bone here that will be aligned to great. Okay, I cannot select. Right, then I align here. I'm gonna match this bone to that point and align here. I'm gonna just actually, why I'm doing this, let's just reuse whatever we got. So we're gonna pick these ones, we'll move them along normals. Yeah, they can be there actually, but you're gonna take off these stretch 2 bone constraints. This limit scale as well. Now they rotate, they pivot like control. and these are copy transforms, but why they are following master leaps? I don't get it. Something is carrying these bones. Oh, that's, I know, of course. This is it's tricky. We don't use this here. It's just a fake vision transform override from the custom shapes. So you have this, and they are stuck in place except for here. So here we have a limitation. This is why we need some stretching, to a way to control the so this pivoting is nice, but the lateral pivoting is terrible. So this is why what you could get is to how can I maintain the pivoting here and allow okay, so I'm gonna change these widgets to here and maybe expand this and here, right? Then I'm gonna delete these ones. I don't need this anyways, but okay. I'm gonna reposition now here and here. It's really not necessary, but the pivot point is maintained, but not the side is a problem. Yeah, let's take this off. It's not gonna help here. I'm not deleting these bones because they probably can serve some purpose of controlling or giving some mapping outside. So I sort of need an arc, but this arc, so this is about the shrink wrap because this arc is fake. It's the arc of the muzzle, and it's not a regular sphere or anything like this. So we can have something that, but for that I will need a giga bone, and I don't think this will be even accurate. The current way to do this is from the shrink wrap. So if these bones, they could, yeah, first let's lock their locations. This will generate a problem, of course. The shrink wrapping, these bones wait, if their heads were here instead of their tails, now we talk something curious. Let's invert them, and so that means that, okay, we lost the parentings, but that's simple to fix. They are exactly matching that positioning, so we're going to delete this stuff. Now they can shrink wrap, from the tail, but they can shrink wrap from this, so I'll be pushing them and they will be snapping to a location. That can be a stretch too. Yes, so they would be stuck in place, like extrude, clear parent, then we do the same here along normal, clear parent. I'm gonna call them Control F2, set name bones, and that will be target fake pivot, top and bot. So I'm doing reverse engineering here. They are not moving, of course, because they got some copy transforms to another bone that doesn't matter right now. No, they're still locked in space for some. Oh, this is because of the auto IQ option? No. No, something is wrong about the parenting, I guess. Parenting to the head. This parent to head. But this doesn't do anything, right? This why they are locked here? Stretch 2. Are there? Yeah, I think they are getting some strange interaction here with this custom space. No? Oh, I've made something. Let's remake those things. Let's delete these ones, I don't care. is not bone constraints, so they... Oh, the normal, of course, normal orientation. Of course, this is... Yeah, not that... Okay, rotation, but if I... Yeah, this is going crazy. It's like it is... No, there is something wrong. It's like it snapped to some ghost thing. This is a certainly bugged, so let's just create a... Maybe some bone is parented to them and they are getting... No, it's not the case. Nothing here is... Let's see, just double checking. Master mouth, no, there's deform head, yeah, no, there's nothing like that here. Welcome to Blender bugs. So here, like, if I have a bone, I should be able to move it, like rotate, move, so, but I can't move it. So probably these bones, they are corrupted after so much. Work. So let's try to redo a bone here, a line here. Of that when I align it, it won't. Okay, it's working. Maybe it has a driver. No. Oh, the... Yeah. Alright, so that was the reason. Fine, so now they can move like that, so we're going to finally be able to stretch to, and now here we go. But this is not over, this is just the beginning, folks, because now we need to get this shrink wrapped into the muzzle ghost from the, yeah, inside, I think 0. And now what we have is a control from the... Okay, so the stretch to, in this case, probably it's going some crazy. Maybe we'll do an exception that the stretch to goes after. Of course, this is not sufficient, but this will give us these rotations. I never did that before, folks, so this particular setup for the control rig, so we can have this curvature. So what I was trying to do before was that I wanted the pivot point from there to have this but then the tail was here, and that's why I needed some other bones, and it never really, yeah. So of course here we have a limitation of scaling, right? I cannot do those tricks, alien tricks, but then we could have another bone to do that if we wanted. The cool thing here is that this will always follow the and it has the stretch, but of course it's not super cool, right? And here you have end up having some problems. So this is not perfect, right? But this is some interesting control that I was looking for a very long time. Now let's do the same here. We can of course expand this value here to something maybe more secure. But at this point I think the more we shrink wrap this, this would not be good. And of course you can have horrid deforms with this. This is still not the automation. The automation is this. And so you see these ones are shrink wrapped already. And so this is the automation that we need to do, and this is actually this is just a new setup that sounds to me quite appealing. So let's just make some changes here, and let's get this one to use the same Control-C, copy attributes extension, shrink wrap, then we get it invert. Alright, let's reset here, let's reset, yeah, reset and whatever. So let's get, because I'm not sure here, we're just gonna reset these shrink wraps, then we reset the pose and we reset this thing. So it is inside near a, nothing special here. Maybe project, no, this will be bizarre, right? So let's leave it like that. I know this works. So this is not shrink wrapping to the face, but to the muzzle ghost, which is here. It is like 2 millimeters behind the real face. Alright, then the way to control the arcades, this controls the mouth. I don't need to command the arcades from this, because we can command the arcades from the jaws. And the mouth is a different setting, but we might want to have something that, so for in this case, this control, yeah, except that I've lost the automators, so I don't need to move these bones probably, so this probably will be better be locked anyways. These locks are dangerous because you see what happened with me right before, but okay, sometimes it might be a good idea. There are many things that can happen with those things, like they can even create problems for resetting poses. Happened to me many times. And alright, so here we need the custom space, right? Yeah, so we're gonna copy transforms. This is from the basis, so it's before the stretch 2. I think this will be local space custom armature and the master jaw, which is actually master jaw, and this is master mouth, and something not adequate is happening. Oh, of course, need before original. This is a full copy and this is not good, but the orientation seems to be working. It's not doing anything mad, so this is doing mad, so it's not this one. Usually this is this one. Here I think this is not the case, it's before original. We just need to reduce this influence. So it's more like a subtle thing, but seems that it's not. Yeah, that seems to be okay for the most part. This has a similar value there, but we'll maintain this. Now for gonna get this, Control C, copy transforms, we'll bring it here. So this is master jaw. Same value, yeah, why not? Kinda makes sense. Alright, now let's see what happens if we bring back the body, then this has some, yeah, we can position it some. This might not be super good, right? But I don't want to lock this bone in place. It's too valuable to have it free, so we have the jaws there, then we have the mouth. Okay, then of course we get some issues sometimes with the jaws. Then we have, this doesn't move the jaw, but this move the, oh, they are not moving, they should, but I disrupted the, so this will be the automator. So actually let's fix that already. So first let's get this one to automate from the top. So this is like another one of these, so Shift D, but now let's change the target, mouth top. We're gonna, this is not exactly a master, but yeah, master link top, whatever, master. Control F2, find replace, so control will be control, there we go. Then I have this bone will carry this one up from this, no, actually it's wrong. This one, we're gonna pick this target, The cool thing about the mix before regional full, or these ones here, is that they will, the other two, but this is the most reliable one, is that it will bring the, they will stack, they don't interfere, they are not destructive, they cooperate between themselves. So this will be master melt, yeah. Why I'm calling them master melt and not top, same is that then this bone constraint will be we can batch it with alt between many others if they have exactly the same name. So Blender don't even read left and right. So the target, yes, the target is the target. This is technical, but this is arbitrary, and this if we do different names, then we lose the batching potential. Sometimes we want to lose the batching potential, but usually this is not adequate. So here you see that this is automating, but it is not what you want. It seems to be, and this we can still pose this, by the way, manually. So to have a controller, I already know how I'm gonna tweak it partially. We'll have to test. So this we need to test the, yes, this seems all good. We just need more power here. This is not local space with owner, yeah, not again, it's, I think it needs to be custom space, but we could try with the local space and local space with owner orientation. This is not very nice, right? Actually, it seems to be kind of not totally incorrect, but yeah, it has some weird motion, right? So I think it's not exactly okay. We want to use the custom space of this, so it's using its own, so it is not good. So this custom space is much better. So now it's using this bones reference, and so it will, but it's still not that good, right? Yeah, so this is new. So we have like lacking of power here. And this is certainly not gonna work if I so in this case this won't do anything. Yeah, I could try to do something crazy here, like, no, there's not supposed to be. So in this case I can cheat and duplicate the bone constraint for more power, but there's some very weird stuff there. I think this is because of the shrink wrap, or maybe it's because of the jaw. Maybe it needs to, no, maybe there are some even dependencies cycle. No, I need to fix something about the, this is something of the upper face. So yeah, this is not working for this, unfortunately, so I'll have to... Oh, hold on, the shrink wrap... Yeah, it goes after, right? Which makes sense, right? Yeah, never mind. So I cannot use this same strategy now if I want to. Oh, I deleted the wrong one. Okay, then let's just delete all of them and copy the master jaw one. It's probably I will need a different approach here. So I had a good setup. I'm not intending to give up on it, but then how? It's not like something about stretching. Oh, I got an idea. Yeah, that'll be the pose space madness. Yeah, that's not good, but let's see what happens. No, that's not. Of course, because the orientation of the bone, so it needs to adapt. So this is why it can't be like that. So this sort of works, but with excessive. The problem is the rotations, isn't it? Almost. Yeah, if we reduce this, let's try the copy location. It's the same thing, and it loses the rotation power, so and then we are completely lock the bone, right? So it could be a mechanism bone instead, a buffer bone, and then we have another bone that will actually enable us for doing more stuff. So it's kind of funny, but I think the copy transforms, it's Like this bone is more like to be not be doing this, but is there a way to prevent that? There is a way. That'll be super weird, but maybe it will work. Copy transforms, local space like that. Yeah, so by moving this we get the whole pivoting of this. Now this works like, and of course as we reset, wow, that's fantastic. So, and of course then I would lose the pivoting of this, so there's a, I need to regain control of this, but this is very nice, and yeah, this is starting to, so this is be like a mechanism, right? So I need Shift D parent Alt F. Let's try this. Parent again. Scale. Parent, it is parent to the, yeah, mechanism. Still has the mechanism name. Then we get it here where it is, it has some strange custom shape. Wait, oh yeah, it is the stretching. Delete all that. Scale more. So what, how to do this now is that I never thought about this solution. It's like this first time I'm making this particular one. Is very, very interesting, for very a breakthrough, I'd say. I'm quite fascinating. I'm quite happy to, excited about this finding here. There are so many things that, yeah, the tweaks are very, very helpful actually, and it's alright. But now I need to have some sort of control. I see. Okay, so say goodbye. You'll become a grandpa. So you have these bones here. The no annoying thing. So let's go Shift T arcades, G, no, this color is in my way, so I'm gonna change this to orange, right? Okay, so this will become parent, the child of this, and so this will be, because it is parented to this one, so it still controls them, but it is controlled by this one by pure parenting. So this is a buffer bone, and we can just gonna change some color here, I guess. I don't know, I'm out of idea. Let's leave this same yet, but I'll give it a widget. Yeah, we can maintain it at the same spot. Not here, I'm unsure. Paddle rounded and scale, and yeah, so I got here. Yeah, so this will be the more or less the alien thing, except that maybe I need to snap it. I'm not sure what I do with it. Maybe we want it to be hold on, maybe we want this to be shrink wrapped. Okay, I got it. So I'm gonna get it to start from here, actually, just as I had before. We're going to, it's already parented, it is already controlling these other bones, but it needs to be shrink wrapped to itself, to the, just like some lip bone, I guess, just like this one actually, which is the one from the Universal Sonic Mouth rig. Why I have two? Oh yeah, this is an old setup. No, this is okay. So it will take this one, this is causing some interaction that is not very good actually as a starting condition. Yeah, that creates some conflict, unfortunately. And it doesn't have a stretch to feature of that, so this is not useful. So I cannot pivot as I could before, but this transforms everything, so this is nice. It's working well as a buffer bound base. I think I need to get still the origin at there, so I'm gonna redo that. Well, there could be maybe this is still the best position for it, but let's try locking here. Copy location, no. Okay, location is locked, but okay, the parenting got lost. So I'm gonna call this control arcade top. We cannot move, right? But yeah, this is not very good. Well, but this way of tweaking is not terrible. I just need to think how I can make this thing, if I can readdress the other setup in some way. I'm starting to have some idea. Yes. Okay, so like, let's say that I have this, then I have this, then this goes parented to this, and this. Now this stretches to this. Okay, let's destroy delete this stuff. The setup that I had before was that this was the tweak, and for now it's doing nothing. Of course, it's just following. This cannot move, but this can control the arcades and so have that arcs, but only that horizontal vertical arc is good. This one is not. And so for this situation we want to have this setup to stretch 2 and now you have this kind of tweak, except that this is, yeah, it is free, it's not shrink wrapping. So let's see what we got. Yeah, we lose the alright, so let's see. We don't have the pivoting, but we have a good follow-up. This one will give the alien thing, which is nice, but we lost the original it's like because of this stretch, so it's like I cannot, this is great, but I still don't have the, yeah, the ideal arc. This is where, yeah, this does, but it doesn't make it the perfect arc. The only way to have the perfect arc from here according would be something regarding the shrink wrap feature. So oops, okay, so it will be like either this bone needs to be shrink wrapped, but then we lose something, or I need to return and see what was the previous. So I was having this, not this, this one. How does that achieved? Is by stretch, limits, limit scale, and okay, this is not the case. Stretch 2, okay, limit scale, and this just copy transforms to master lip. Okay, is the master mouth of the bottoms. So it's just the limit scale, stretch 2. Here we don't have, yeah, I have the perfect if I push it back. And then I have the scale, limit scale, just on the Y local space, just the negative, it doesn't scale negatively, so that's why I can push it, but the bone doesn't appear to be, yeah, actually I'm pulling this back, right, even without the, it's just an illusion. So this is what is happening, and I can Okay, so we have some visual illusions, and so this can be still not the perfect, but it gives the illusion, so it's not that bad, and it can be helpful. So I still like the cheating idea, so let's get back here. So the idea would then be to, although it can be good to pull this back, but then it's just a question of changing the scale here. So we got, also we're gonna get this thing, we're gonna fake this, and we're gonna reduce with a limit scale this one actually after the stretch 2, and then we're gonna get only for here we got 0.9 and maximum, let's say 1.1, and maybe it's too much. No, my values are my spacer is too big here, so we need to, I think something is not working. I placed it in the wrong position. So I want this to have like affect transforms, local space, alright. And if we pull this back, let's have some intersections there, horrid stuff, we can probably, my mouse is really not helping now. I need to check here. What's happening to that? If this mouse keeps doing this, probably the middle mouse button, I have to... Okay, so it is working. It's just not as smooth as I saw before, so probably this is happening because we need to just leave it at 1, and here maybe this. But I actually need to be spotting better this stuff, so and I can scale laterally for some reason. Of course, it doesn't respond to copy scale. We'll need to get copy scale, and then I was thinking of having the limit scale not for the copy scale, but I don't know how they will be stacking here. Okay, so it can we can scale in all axes, and from the we need to improve this stretch too, maybe. Okay, so first is copy scales, okay, then and we want stretch 2, yes, then limit scale we the shapes are not very good, right? So, or it's just an impression. Yeah, certainly there's some amount of scaling that is useless. So for example, this XX 1 point, yeah, 2, 1.6, 1.6, yeah, let's say 1.6, then limit rotation, right? It causes lots of problems, but maybe that can help. This y-axis, like and we can improve its whatever, let's leave like that. So here, this is the Z, right? The Z is too bad, right? So apparently this is a good idea. So Z axis negative 30, positive 30, let's see. We're gonna change this influence here like 0.8. I've heard that this can slow down some of the motion. It's a little hard to control, but and then this is Z, I guess. This is X is not ready, and the Y, yeah, the Y is, yeah, we see what could be the Y already. Is the twisting. So maybe the twisting is too much still, so the twisting is like the x-axis also, it's probably required to do something. So this will try, these values may change because, yeah, like this for instance, I think it's already maybe, I don't know, maybe the character would do this some. It's good to leave some space for exaggeration, but I'm not quite sure. I need more experience to be certain of that, so probably this will be the negative, no, 15 then. Okay, this is the 15. And this also positive, negative 15. Okay, and then about the scale, right? This is the problem here that we need to solve. So we need to prevent the no, it will be at least one. And here the maximum is the problem. We might have to this is symmetric, so this is sort of easy. Yeah, this can be limiting actually for the, but actually no, maybe not, but yeah, it is risky. So we're gonna get just at least this. We'll have the automation which I escaped from, but we can try to do the automation just begin, even if I don't conclude it, because this is not automation, this is just a simple control which can solve partially some problems of automation, but this is not what I really mean. But it's actually funny to get these things to work this way, original way, right? Then I need probably to, okay, let's go back here in the textured. We do this, and then we have all these controls, which is kinda fun. The problem is that we cannot rotate too much, right, this thing, so there is some But then if you, yeah, this rotates actually by, I lose the field control, but then we have this rotation. So this is the, and this displace, so this is actually very, very nice, right? But we need to know what is what does what, so this is not trivial. And now we can address the other, the lower, so this will be a bit messed. So we got here, let's get yeah, I'll have to buy a new mouse. This is, I used it for maybe less than 1 month and it's already failing. Maybe there is a way that I'm not clicking correctly the button. Yeah, there's an angle of pushing the button. Like crossed from 15 degrees towards the center. Very weird. Just found out, but this is very good to destroy one's fingers on the long, in the medium term. Alright, so what I need to do, at least I found how to get it to work. So I need to slightly better. I need now to pick this and this and this. No, not this. We're gonna duplicate this and yeah, okay, I'm gonna bring it there. Gonna align this here. F, no, actually, yeah, F didn't work, so we need to change the bone length. Okay, now it's exactly there. We change its name to Control Arcade. It's actually a mechanism arcade, whatever. Bottom. This will be like buff arcade. Looks like more a buffer font than everything else. This is a buffer bone also. Alright, now make this a little larger and this one a bit bigger. So the problem here is that I need to change the targets here. We're gonna parent it to this, align with it, no, align with the mechanism, change the color, expand this and this. It's not, all the mechanisms are not working, so we're gonna change now the target. This name is, yeah, this will be tweak, no, it will be control arcades. So here we're gonna have to investigate which are the extra bone constraints. Is just a copy transforms, but change to this target. There we go. Then we have a stretch 2 target fake pivot. Now this is the, yes, this is already working. Shrink wrap will be before the stretch and the copy transforms. Which is for the master melt. Master leap, yeah. But is the bottom, the copied incorrectly the bone constraint, so it's copied to selected. Let's see. Yeah, we want lesser value here. It reduced too much. Okay, this can work, and then we need to parent these mini bones here. To the mechanism arcade, now the mechanism arcade bot. And now this is stretching to incorrectly, I guess. The limit rotation, yeah, this, I'll not touch that. This I think reset, right? Copy scale, okay, it's the same stuff. So yeah, so for the automation of this, if I remember correctly, is just will in this system we'll have to employ, so it's copy, yeah, because this, I think it's solved. This is the, we can scale like this, but this is not the super nice. The best way would be to have the automation. So this is like, let's start with this one. So it's just copy transforms, local space with own orientation before original. We don't see it very well, so maybe it needs extra. I target the wrong bone, so this is also not a good angle to spot what's happening, but there we go. Have some sort of automation, and the bone has a shrink wrap, so it's still shrink wrapping inside the ghost muzzle. Sometimes this is not a good strategy because the bone starts to jump. It gets weird pathing, so this is not a perfect system, but it's usually better than if you shrink wrap the mesh itself of the arcades or teeth, gums to. Alright, so this is just one bone, but this one requires to be, maybe it doesn't need to be all that strong. And the problem is that we don't visualize very well what's going on, despite of the size of the mouth. It's about the shape of the original shape of the arcades. So this character doesn't have, it's not very easy to get the, so I have to maybe pull the arcades down a little for the base position. I'm not sure how to solve this. A character design, typical complex character design thing that you need to solve a problem specific, very specific to the character design. So this is real problems of rigging. This is not the one technical issue or another. No, this is actually an artistic issue, and it's, well, usually is the hardest one to find a solution to. It's super time consuming, it's like, but it's really what makes a character great. It's this kind of adaptation. So you see that this is not being enough. So okay, since we have this, we're gonna copy already its other. Why the other? Oh yeah, so now it is kind of working, right? I should have started with the first one. Alright. I can create some other driving like bone constraints to have better pathways. There is many ways to do this kind of automation, but it's not even action bone constraint, but everything is annoying actually. So here we see the collision system, it's not, the positioning was not as good as I thought, so maybe here I'll have to, let's try the ball thing. No, not really helping. Only this helps for this. Well, this one is very far, so maybe this is actually good to have this. This seems to help. Then for this one we want to reduce here. Okay, I'll have to address this again. so it's hard time to see everything here, but let's see. Yeah, so maybe they cross, or no, this, it's like they should move more than the other anyways. Yeah, something like that. That seems fine. And then for the rest, maybe reduce this slightly. The cannon gets a little bad, right, shaped, but for the overall shape of the arcade, this is, in the curvature, right, this is a good automation actually. And the lips have, it's another problem that I need to address, but I can solve this with shape key probably, the canning thing, or have improved mesh. So this is annoying, but it would work. I think the shape key would be the best way. You can even drive the shape key here with some pointiness when the arcades become like this, or when this bone reaches, I don't know, when, maybe when this bone moves too far away, yeah, then probably the arcades would. Okay, then since we got this, now let's do for the bottom. So here we're gonna do the same thing. Basically we gonna copy transforms, and this copy transforms, then the bottom one, maybe this is too much, we need to invert here, invert here. Unfortunately Blender doesn't understand this very well. Yeah, so this is where this bone, maybe for automation, need to go up slightly, not that much, and this one, and maybe then something about the angle is not very good for this bone, so I have to consider this. Also another character design thing. Okay, but the automation is good. This is too strong, and this can be a little stronger. There we go. This may be moving a bit too much. Okay, I think I'm okay. This also, we will create some stretching of it, so copy transforms, bring it here, but this will be to both sides actually, so this is very tiny, like that. We're gonna reproduce it for this one. And then I'm gonna duplicate that and make it, they will stack, right, proportionally, so this is good, and this one will the master lip side, right? Well, here you don't have. Okay. Here you don't have a choice. They have this strange stacking, so specific. So in this case, I just want to be able to read. So they would have different names anyway, so we cannot batch them. So better have them at least readable. And as for these ones, yeah, this one is simple. Oh, we can, by having this, all these on the same, then we symmetrize. Alright, I have to do the everything for two sides. Yeah, alright. No, they don't symmetrize well, right? So this is, yeah, let's ignore that then. The central bones don't need symmetrizing, so this one is still wrong. There we go. Now we can check less time here, and yeah, let's symmetrize. So it's just, in this case it's simple. I just have this bone symmetrize, and now we will see that we can make the if I do the mirror thing, say the so yeah, I still have some trouble here with the design of the lower arcade, usually because of the angle, but then the rest is about improving the mount rig, shape keys. I've already done many of the cool facial expressions with this rig system, so in this time I had this improvement on the control, some interesting setup here, not necessarily better than what I had before, but I think a little more interesting. That's certainly more creative, and it's more versatile slightly, and but for the most thing it's exactly the same thing. So so I think that completes the automation of the arcades. No, not quite totally, because in my opinion it would be nice to have some sort of extra automation, so that the arcades, they get a better orientation on certain positions. So this would not be trivial, but I know how to do. Yes, it's just that I'm not sure what I really need right now, so it will be like push this, the shape is get a bit weirdly distorted, right? So probably why I cannot pose this is the shrink wrap is going crazy. Yes, like I will have to make them go down for some reason. I'm unsure. Maybe it's about the original position of the arcade in relation to the mount. Yeah, maybe this one is starting too low, so I need to What is happening here? Looks like I'm snapping something. Yeah, I see the front view is not good, right? So total front view. So the shape here, yeah, it's improving the shape and positioning of the arcades on edit mode mostly, yeah. So you can have seen it more and more easily, and once I find what works for the character design, then I've been doing this, right, research for a while. This is why I get this interesting result now, but it's not sufficient. So let's see here, face automation, arcades, fake collisions. Yes, we can say this is done, because the rest could be flips. Okay, so here what we need next is like this is new, right? It's like improve the arcades shapes from front view, especially. Front views, whatever. Yeah, front views. Improve arcade shapes on edit mode with tests, posing tests. Yeah, so this is big topic. If I mean for the character design. So lips, it should be, yeah, just retakes, right? Shouldn't take too long, but I think this is priority, because it's still not, as it's nearly done. Yeah, the extra edge loop for this is about the lip quality, mesh density on mouth eyelids already gave up, right? So consider it concluded, right? Actually, this is like so it's like extra edge of front corner, one for, yeah, so after retaking this, we'll be able to spot if, so this is an order here actually. Lips, yeah, then arcades, no, this is not good for visualization, so let's put this lips quality rig. No, we don't need that information anymore. Then shape keys, yeah. I remembered one extra shape key. So like there is one thing that is closed eyes or eye blink, yeah. I don't have I have a mirror modifier, so this will be a problem. Is there another way to solve this? No, it's a tragedy. with armature deform. I could try to fix it with some sort of that's kind of crazy. Like there's be an idea here instead of yeah, I can do a keep mirror modifier for now. Yeah, because in the end I'll have to apply the mirror modifier anyways, so but I can create, yeah, I can still work with this shape key. I have an add-on extension, I think it's an add-on, the keep shape keys keeper, so I can easily apply shape keys even if there are mirror modifier on. It will find a solution and then I can recreate if I want the mirror modifier on the same model with shape keys. So it's kind of super nice, super valuable. And so this is something I cannot forget. So it's something referent to, yeah, it's actually both eyelids plus and eyelashes combined, so it's not trivial. Then we have this couldn't even be later because there is another priority, but it will take time, right? So it's not necessarily in order, right? So then we have this, and we have when I have all the control rig solved, I could, and preferably when I have this one solved also, then we can go for the shape key. So yeah, can do it in this order. Then this is the body. This I'm not sure. Make mix some animation. I'm not sure if I use that. Then we have, yeah, so I'm very close to getting to the, this is just yeah, little this is already fixed, messed up. This is almost done, yeah, but this is annoying. Then shape keys, yeah, we are about to get the shape key. Then for all the mouth expressions, one for eyes expressions that I have messed up. We are very close to the body, so there's this 3D animation compressor that get us, yeah, smooth waves. Deform skeleton from low poly mesh, okay. Then include helper bones, no bendy bones on this setup, yeah. Otherwise need to be converting them. Add twist bones for wrist at least. Yeah, I don't think wrist twist bones for other thing would be required, so just essentially for the wrist. If I see something else going very badly, I would add. And then deltas pelvis, so yeah, this is probably driver. Also can be, I have a system with bone constraints. So okay, then physics wiggle, this is time consuming and tricky, but might have to use another software. Yeah, so this is very to the end. Maybe I should do this later after I conclude the so I think I can, in 2 or 3 days I can, so if it weren't for the shape keys it would be tomorrow. So just see, let's see, I can try to complete these shape keys until Saturday. Then all this would probably take more than 1 day. This I don't know how much time it would take. If I want to go perfect on this, that will take longer, maybe 2 days, maybe more, but I shouldn't take that much in this approach I'm doing. But I have to revisit the setups, so this is slightly worrisome regarding my deadline. But then there is this stuff that, because this can take some time, this actually have more priority, but you have to think about it. But that's it folks. So thanks for watching, hope that was inspiring. Today was this lot of facial rig, and we got lots of progress, so this is getting closer. So 5-6 days maybe I can conclude this. We'll see. I'll continue working online and offline. Take care folks, happy blendering, and see you next time.